Most of you would assume that I am here today to talk about my attack, the why and how of it, and most importantly, about my triumph over it. In all humbleness, you would look at me and see a warrior. You will look at my battle scars with chill running down your spine. You would look for inspiration in this story. Over the past decade, a lot has been said and talked about my attack. I have never let it rule my life, but it has ruled my narrative. But not today. I'm not here to talk about my acid attack. I'm here to talk about a woman who lost life to burns, a newlywed full of dreams and hopes whose clothes caught fire while making tea. I saw her in the hospital every day during my initial course of treatment. We grew fond of each other, and she was my antidote to the pain of the dressing, the pain of the infection, and the pain of acceptance. She always made me feel better. And even in her death, she gave me something, the gratitude for life. This was questioned more than a few times during my initial 3 month long stay at Burns Ward, when I saw lives being lost to infection, to lack of infrastructure, but most of all, the test was losing vision in one of my eyes. Could I still be grateful? The answer is yes. And that leads me to another reason why I am here, to talk about a man and a very important lesson he taught to his daughter. Shout as loudly as you can. I don't care what the neighbor will think. I don't care if the police shows up on my door 5 minutes from now. You keep shouting. I will not stop you, try to explain you, but you should know something. You are not allowed to cry and shout after this very day. I did not raise a weak girl. I raised a fighter. The first time I heard these words were shortly after my return home, after my life changing completely in a span of few seconds, and that realization of that change over months of hospitalization and numerous surgeries. These words are what truly changed my life. They taught me to not look at the cracked mirror and see the remnants of what could have, but rather look at what would be. I moved back to Bangalore with my husband soon after, like any married couple would do, to start a new life. And a new life it was. I was stared at, pitied at, pointed at. I remember one child saying, yuck. Yes, yuck. She hated everything about me, my eyes, my nose, my lips, everything. Well, can you blame her? She was a kid, never taught that there was something beyond those superficial features. I looked at her in pity rather than anger. She was raised in a society devoid of empathy towards fellow beings, looking different from normal people. How can a child know about privilege and disability unless he or she is taught about it? And our family grew. I became more aware of such misfortune around me, and so did my children. They were often asked and mocked for not who their mother was, but how she looked. I repeated my father's kind words to them, always being awed by their strength to be able to live by them. And I was grateful again for such lovely daughters that kept being my children even when the whole world around them was forcing them to grow up. Over the next 2 year initially, I had to undergo multiple surgeries for my hand, neck, nose, chin, eyelid, everything was reconstructed. While I always remained positive, I could not blind to the plight of acid attack and burn survivors in our country. How did you fight such physical pain without help? How do you comprehend the injustice and accept your destiny if you cannot even get over the physical pain? I was not able to find those answers anywhere. So I started trying to become the answer. And soon after, Atijeevan was born. It wasn't easy there. There wasn't any support from government or NGO or anyone. I met several people who encouraged me. Some had their own motive, some genuinely believed that I could make it work. And there were those three girls whom I met during some volunteering work, and who helped me to build Atijeevan in my initial days. They understood me and believed that one day I will make Atijeevan what it is today. In spite of all the challenges, I had faith, I had belief, and I had a focus. And what guiding me was a vision to make this world a better place for acid attack and burn survivors like me. Eventually, my hard work and dedication bore fruit. Atijeevan became a safe haven for acid attack and burn survivors, a place that focuses on their well-being and journey, a place where they were survivors, warriors, and not victims, a place that doesn't just look at them, just doesn't look at this one incident that changed their life, but at them as human beings. Atijeevan facilitates medical rehabilitation, helps them with their education, job, legal cases, and mental health, promotes skin donation, and so much more. Talking about medical rehabilitation, it is not a days or a months or a years process, but a long and continuous one. Plastic surgery is nothing like they show in movies. It is a very complex procedure and takes several attempts to over multiple years to reconstruct even one feature like nose, eyelid, or ear. We also consider some non-surgical procedures like laser, tattooing, camouflaging to suppress the prominent appearance of a scar. And there is one specific case which is worth mentioning here, of a young girl whose husband was in police and who threw acid on her because she wanted to go out and work. When I met her, she had lost her vision. She was not able to breathe from her nose. She was not able to eat properly as her mouth was half closed due to contracture. And today, after 6 years of continuous surgeries, 30% of her eye vision has been restored. She can eat properly, can breathe with her nose, and can speak comfortably. Though her current appearance is nothing compared to her original one, but it is a big improvement over what it had become after the attack. She has now joined a school and working as a primary teacher and supports her old parents in addition to learning new skills to move ahead in life. And there is one more story of a girl who also lost eyesight and gained some of it back after multiple surgeries. We assisted her in getting married in 2019, and now she has a 1 year old son. She is now learning entrepreneurial skills to start her own business, and I am all determined to help her in every possible way to make her a successful entrepreneur. See, this is my vision for all the survivors who come in contact with me. Because, as I said, I am not here to talk about my acid attack. I am here to talk about all those brave survivors and their courageous loved ones who fight silently every day. I am here to give a message that what destined to happen in your life will happen, but what you make out of it or make out of yourself is your choice. I am here to talk about a young girl who was once worried about finding the right job and a husband, and now she became a national and international award winner for supporting hundreds of survivors across the country, and also a proud mother of two brave little girls. In that story, I hope you find inspiration. Thank you for your time and thank you for listening to my story. Thank you again.